Have you ever loved someone so deeply, only to find yourself disappearing in the process? She entered your life like a dream, gentle, fragile, carrying secrets you felt only you could unlock. You believed you were the chosen one to heal her wounded heart, to be her savior, but slowly, that sweet love turned into a maze. You wandered endlessly through sweet poison words, subtle comparisons, suffocating silence, and invisible emotional blows. Welcome to Shining Mirror-LVB. Today, we're going to expose the hidden mask of the covert female narcissist, the queen of manipulation, and her 10 deadly psychological weapons. But more than just unmasking her tactics, we'll dive deep into why we get trapped and, more importantly, how we can break free. Because this isn't just a story about them, it's a lesson to help you hold on to yourself, no matter how toxic the relationship becomes. Weaponized vulnerability. From the very first date, she spills her childhood wounds, tales of a cruel ex, a cold-hearted family. Her tears shimmer in the candlelight and you feel your heart melt. You tell yourself, "I'm her savior. I'm the one who will heal her broken soul." But here's the trap. This isn't pure vulnerability, it's calculated. She knows exactly how to trigger your empathy and your hero instinct. And once she does, you're hooked. The more pity you feel, the deeper your emotional debt grows. You become the lifetime soul doctor while she stays the eternal victim, weaving a cycle of blame, guilt, and your endless efforts to fix what was never meant to be fixed. Renowned therapist John Gottman said it best: vulnerability builds connection. Strategic vulnerability builds control. Real vulnerability opens hearts. Strategic vulnerability ties them up. When someone keeps recycling the same wounds but never truly heals, they don't want a cure, they want a permanent source of your sympathy. Remember this: a healthy relationship doesn't make you a doctor or a rescuer. Real love doesn't hold you hostage with pity. Love is a gamble, intermittent reinforcement. Ever wondered why people can't walk away from a slot machine? You lose, and lose, and lose again, but then you win a tiny jackpot. And suddenly you believe you're just one more spin away from striking it rich. So you pour in more money, time, and hope. Love with a covert female narcissist works the same way. When you're drained and ready to leave, she magically transforms into her sweetest self again. Soft eyes, trembling apologies, whispered promises of a brand new future. Just enough sweetness to keep your hope alive. And so, you stay, you spin the wheel again, and again, and again, trapped in a cycle that empties your emotional reserves. This is called intermittent reinforcement, one of the most powerful manipulation tools in behavioral psychology. When rewards appear unpredictably, your brain gets addicted to the thrill of, maybe this time it'll be different. You cling to the rare good moments, convincing yourself true love is right around the corner if you just hold on a little longer. Love is not a lottery ticket. A healthy relationship must have predictability, safety, and emotional consistency, enough for you to feel secure to be fully yourself. Love should never feel like a gamble where your peace of mind is the bet. The script of passive aggression. She doesn't scream, she doesn't throw plates or slam doors. Instead, she picks a far more insidious weapon: calculated silence. A half-finished sentence, a cryptic sigh, an icy distance that chills the room but leaves no clear name. When you ask, "What's wrong?" she exhales, "You know." So you spiral. You replay every conversation, dissect every text, rewind every moment just to figure out the crime you never knew you committed. You apologize, you beg for clarity, you promise to fix whatever is broken, but she never really tells you what it is. This is passive aggression, anger disguised as calm. The rage is buried but its poison seeps into the cracks. When someone refuses clear, honest communication, they hold the power. You twist in the fog of uncertainty while they watch you bind yourself in guilt. Silence is not always golden, especially when silence is used as punishment. A healthy relationship leaves no room for cryptic games and half answers. When someone hides behind quiet but uses it to wound, that's emotional violence wearing a mask of peace. You deserve conversations that heal, not silence that suffocates. The deflection shield. You finally gather the courage to say what's hurting you. I feel like you're being unfair to me. But instead of listening, she shoots back with a raised eyebrow. So now you're blaming me? This is all your fault. In a heartbeat, the entire story flips. It's no longer about your pain, it's about your mistake in daring to bring it up. Your honest words twist into evidence that you are the selfish one, the bad partner. The real problem here: manipulators rarely admit fault. They wield the deflection shield. Any criticism bounces off them and boomerangs straight back at you. Worse yet, over time, you start doubting yourself. Am I really too sensitive? Maybe I'm overreacting. So you swallow your feelings and tiptoe on eggshells to keep the fake peace alive. Never expect a manipulator to hold up a mirror and face their truth. They won't. The only mirror you can trust is your own. Look into it, see what's real, see where your boundaries lie, and decide what you will no longer accept. You don't owe anyone your silence to avoid conflict. Real respect doesn't need a deflection shield to survive. Emotional exploitation. Remember those nights at the beginning? When you trusted her enough to share every fear you carried, your terror of failure. The betrayal that broke you. The scars that made you question your worth. She held you close. She whispered promises that she'd never be the one to hurt you. But when the fights come, those same secrets turn into daggers aimed straight at your heart. She brings up your darkest moments, not to comfort you, but to crush you, to remind you you're too broken for anyone else to love. This is emotional exploitation, using your deepest scars as a tool to keep you small and under control. That tender trust you offered so freely was never safe in her hands. It became her secret arsenal for every argument. Sharing your soul is a choice, not an obligation. Don't open your deepest wounds to someone who hasn't earned the right to hold them gently. Real love never turns your past into chains, it helps you break free from it. No-win scenarios. When you love a covert female narcissist, you learn quickly that no matter what you choose, you lose. If you stay and listen to her endless lectures, you're weak and spineless. If you walk away, you're a coward who can't handle real love. If you try to help or give advice, you're controlling and suffocating. If you stand still and stay silent, you're cold and indifferent. This is the trap of no-win scenarios, carefully crafted situations where every option feeds her power and fuels your guilt. The more you twist yourself into knots trying to do better, the deeper you sink, because in her game, there is no way to win. The problem is never that you're not enough. The problem is that the game was rigged from the start. If you play a rigged game, the only winning move is not to play war games. Don't waste your soul trying to win a game designed to drain you. Your true power is in choosing to walk away, to stop playing by rules that were never fair, and to build a life where you set the terms. Comparison torture. One day you realize you're never enough. You're not charming enough, not wealthy enough, not like her ex enough. She paints this perfect man, some imaginary standard, and leaves you chasing it endlessly. So you run, you work harder, spend more, bend further, you exhaust yourself trying to earn that magical, "You're the best I've ever had." But that praise never comes, because the comparison torture never stops. The bar keeps moving just out of reach. No matter how close you get. This is how a narcissist turns love into an endless marathon, a race you can't win. The more you chase, the more of yourself you lose. Toxic comparisons slowly kill your self-worth. Real love doesn't demand you to be some photoshopped version of yourself. It embraces you as you are, flaws, dents, and all. Anyone who turns love into a scoreboard doesn't love you. They love the control they get from keeping you chasing it. Performance evaluation. In real love, you give a gift because you want to see them smile. You say, "I love you," because you feel it in your bones. You touch, hug, care, because it's natural, not strategic. But with a covert female narcissist, everything you do becomes a test. You buy an expensive gift. Why didn't you pick the other color? You don't even know me. You say something sweet. You're just saying that. Do you really mean it? You hold her close. You're only doing this to make me happy, not because you really love me. So love turns into a never-ending performance evaluation. You don't love because you want to. You love to meet standards. Every word, every gesture is measured, graded. Good enough, not enough, do better, and you wear yourself out. Because no matter how flawless your performance, she'll always find a flaw in the script. Love is not a competition or a job interview. If you have to perform to be loved, that isn't love. The right person won't need you to act. They'll want you as you are. Messy, imperfect, human, real. Boundary violation. When you love a covert female narcissist, boundaries are a one-way street. You have to report everything: where you are, who you're with, when you're coming home, who you text, how fast you reply. One late reply and you face suspicion, coldness, or a storm of questions. But her, she's off limits. Ask too many questions, and you're controlling. Want clarity? You're insecure. Need her to be there for you. She disappears, goes silent, and comes back whenever she pleases, acting like nothing happened. This is boundary violation, a one-sided erasure of limits. She demands total freedom while chaining you with obligations to prove your devotion. Little by little, you forget where you end and she begins. Your identity dissolves. Your self-respect bleeds out. Good fences make good neighbors. In love, good fences protect your self-worth. Clear boundaries are not selfish, they're shields. If someone keeps breaking your fence, have the courage to build it back higher. Love means sharing life, not steamrolling each other's limits. Identity destruction. The deadliest weapon of a covert female narcissist is not loud, it's slow, silent, and patient. She doesn't force you to cut off your friends, passions, or family overnight. She plants tiny seeds instead. Your friends are so annoying. Why spend time with them when you barely spend enough with me? If you really loved me, would you waste time on that silly hobby? So, piece by piece, you trim away your life, skipping the coffee catch-ups, canceling the trips, dropping the late-night projects that made you feel alive, until your whole world spins around her moods, her schedule, her approval. One morning, you catch your reflection in the mirror. No friends, no passion, no voice that's fully yours. Just you, a reshaped, smaller, quieter version, surviving inside her orbit. This is identity destruction, uprooting who you are until you're easy to control. With nowhere else to stand but next to her, a real partner lifts you higher and expands your world. True love is soil that lets your roots grow deeper, not a knife that cuts them off. Anyone who makes you abandon your life piece by piece doesn't love you, they want to own you. Why do we get stuck? It sounds simple, but it's really a trap engineered with precision. These weapons don't rely on black magic, they tap straight into male biology and instinct. Men love to rescue, they crave the thrill of conquest. They long to feel needed and special. A covert narcissist knows exactly how to spin this. Your best instincts become your invisible chains. You keep telling yourself you're saving someone worth saving, forgetting that the only person getting lost is you. Here's the good news: awareness is the antidote. When you see the script, you're no longer the puppet, you're the audience, and the one who rewrites the ending. How to break free. See it clearly. This is not real love. Real love doesn't bind, twist, or drain you dry. Stop fixing. You can't fix someone who has no intention of fixing themselves. Reconnect. Rebuild your circle, friends, family, the people who love you because you're you, not a perfect hero. Reclaim your boundaries. Saying no is not selfish, it's armor for your self-worth. Rebuild yourself. Return to old passions, old friends, old sparks that made you you. Every piece you stitch back together is a step home to your real identity. Real love doesn't break you apart. True love is soil for your roots to grow deeper. Your voice to grow louder, your life to grow freer, never a cage that clips your wings to fit someone's mold. If you saw pieces of yourself in these 10 psychological weapons, know this: you are not alone. So many have been trapped in this sweet labyrinth, and so many have broken free. You can too. Share your story in the comments below. Your words today might be the mirror that lights the way for someone else tomorrow. And don't forget to like, to spread the truth, comment, to break the silence, and subscribe to Shining Mirror-LVB, where we learn to love wisely. Live awake, and stay brave enough to walk away when love stops being love. Look in the mirror and come home to yourself.